high call series.
Morning, children. So we have actually completed the last lesson in the previous class, and now it's a time for us to start a new lesson, right? So in this lesson, we are going to learn about those people who help us in whatever we do in our day-to-day life. Okay, so these people are those people who help us to make our lives happier and easier. See, we do a lot of works every day, isn't it? We do a lot of works every day, and is it possible for us to do all the works ourselves? Is it possible for us to do all the works ourselves? No, isn't it? Yes. See, for example, imagine you got ready in the morning and now you need to go to school. Is it possible for you to to walk all the way to the school? If your school is a bit far away from your place? No. Then, the driver comes driving the bus or an auto rickshaw or a van. We get into that van and we go to the school. Why we have to go to school? Why can't we sit at home and study ourselves? No. There is a person who knows much more things than we people, and we have to go to that particular person and learn more things, isn't it? And who is that person? Yes, that person is called a teacher. Okay, so a teacher is a learned man, and he knows more things in the world, and he would like to, or you would like to go to that particular person and learn more things, isn't it? Yes. So we cannot do teaching ourselves. Okay, the festival comes, we went to the clothes shop, bought a piece of cloth, and why can't we stitch it ourselves and make it a cloth? Because stitching is a different thing, and there is a person who knows how to cut the cloth, how to stitch it, how to make a design out of it, isn't it? So these things are known to another person. We do not know that much because he is an expert in that. That's simple most way to tell that is he is an expert in that particular thing. And who is that? He is called a tailor, isn't it? So we take the help of this person called a tailor to make our life easier, isn't it? Otherwise, we will try to cut the cloth. It may not be the proper way how we have to cut it, and the clothes get wasted. We may have to go to the cloth shop again, buy another piece of cloth. What happens? We have to spend a lot of money, and we end up with nothing. Right? But if you buy a single piece of cloth, go to a tailor, give the measurements, then he will make the cuttings, he will do the stitchings, and he will make it a perfect thing to be worn by us, isn't it? Isn't it? Yes. So, these are the kind of help that we get by these people, okay, who are trained or who are some kind of an expert in doing these kinds of the works, okay, and they are known as community helpers because they help not only us, they help the entire community, right? So in the place where you live, there is a bakery, and when it is your birthday, you go to this bakery and orders the cake, isn't it? Do you make your own cake at home? No, we won't make. We will go to a bakery and we give an order and we design something for that. Maybe the cake itself can be of a different shape, or we may have some designs done on that, isn't it? Yeah, we tell them all these things that we want, how the cake should be, and there is a person called a baker. isn't it? He is a person who makes a cake out of yes, how we want that to be. Okay? So when you go to the school in the morning, the road got blocked because of the traffic. If you try to go there and clear the traffic, will someone listen to you? No. Why? Yeah, there is a person who is appointed for that and he will be controlling the traffic. He knows how to control it. Okay? So, they are called, yes, traffic police. Is it? Huh? During summer season, we all wish to drink water from a cool pot, a clay pot, a mud pot, isn't it? So who makes it? Okay, can it be like, okay, it's going to be summer in a month, so we will go get some clay and we will make a pot out of this clay. Is it that what's happening? No. There are some people who make this particular thing, this pot out of the clay, and they are called the potters. A potter is a person who make a pots out of the clay. In the morning, if you want to make some curry at home, you need to buy what? Vegetables. Isn't it? We need to buy vegetables. Is it possible for us to grow all the vegetables at our home? No. Some won't even grow in our region. Then what will we do? Yes, we will go to the market because there is a person called a grocer, green grocer. So what does he do? Yeah, he will buy the vegetables grown by the farmers and he will bring it all to his shop in the market where we can go and buy these vegetables. Isn't it? A green grocer helps us in this way. Huh? Then, if you are ill, where do we go? To the hospital. Why? Yeah, there is an expert in dealing with the illness and all, and he is called a doctor. Okay, the doctor needs some kind of assistance and all. If you are admitted in the hospital, every time the doctor cannot be there, but there are some other persons who knows much about the medicines, and they need to follow what the doctors instructed them. Who are they? Nurses are there. Or imagine a leg of your chair or a table is broken at home. Whom do we go to? Yes, we call a person called a carpenter, right? So why do we call a carpenter? Because carpenter is an expert in dealing with the woodwork. Okay, if the same happens with the pipeline, the tap is leaking. Whom will we call? Will we call a carpenter? No. Why? Because carpenter deals only with the woodwork and not with the pipe connections. So who is there dealing with the pipe connections? Yes, he is called a plumber. What is it called? He is called a plumber. Okay, so a carpenter deals with the woodwork and a plumber deals with the pipe works. And if there is something wrong with the fans or the switches, whom do we call? We call an electrician. Isn't it? Huh? So all these kinds of people are helpers. Okay? When you are ill, you go to a hospital, the doctor prescribe you some medicine on a sheet of paper. And when you take that to a medical store or a medical shop, there is another person called the chemist who knows about the medicines and all, or a pharmacist. to give us that medicines. Shopkeepers are there if you are, we use some provisions at home. And if we run short of that provisions, we will go to the nearby store and there will be a shopkeeper there, isn't it? So shopkeeper also is a community helper. So every day in the morning, the people from the municipality or the panchayat will come and sweep the doors, take away all the waste and all. Sweepers are there, no? And how do we take the help of these sweepers? If they do not keep the roads and clean and remove the waste items away from the road, it will become dirty and we will have a lot of diseases also. Okay, so these people, the sweepers, they are very great community helper because they help us to live healthy. We live healthy just because of these people. Right? So there are a lot of such kind of people. When something goes wrong with your chappal, the slipper or the shoes, we take it to a person called a cobbler. Isn't it? A cobbler. Then, if your hair grows long, where do we go? We go to a saloon or a barber shop. And there is a person called a barber. Right? Who will cut our hair. So we have a cobbler. Then we have barber. Okay. Then postman. Washerman. Who take away all the used clothes, wash them neatly, iron it perfectly, and brings it back to our home. Then a home is made beautiful, isn't it? There is a mason, M-A-S-O-N, who constructed a house. A mason is a person who constructed a house. Then we use the help of people like a carpenter, plumber, electrician, in order to complete the house. And then there is a person called a painter, isn't it? There's a person called a painter who comes and paints our house. Right? So, see, a lot of people are there every single day, any one of these people do help us in one way or the other. Right? So, these people are very important in our life because they always help us in a one way or the other. Right? And they are called the community helpers. Right? So, though we do a lot of things every morning to evening, there are so many other people also working for us or doing something with which we make our life happy. Okay? And the people like the cobbler, barber, postman, washerman, mason, painter, teacher, tailor, baker, traffic police, policeman, potter, greengrocer, okay, fruit sellers, merchants, shopkeepers, doctors, nurses, carpenters, plumber, electrician, chemist, pharmacist, sweeper. It's a very long list. It goes on. Right? So there are a lot of people who are around us who does a lot of things for us so that our life is made happier. Right? So you can read this lesson in the PDF which is there along with this video link. Right? So when you get the time, you can download it or you can get a printout of it, doesn't matter much. And you can read them. Right? So now we will go on to the activities and the questions part of this lesson. Okay? So children, we have completed the lesson part and now it's a time for us to deal with the exercises and the question answer part of this particular lesson. Right? Okay. Now, so the exercises here starts with true or false questions. Okay. So there are 5 sentences given here. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay. 5 sentences are given here. We need to read each one of these sentences one by one. We need to read these sentences one by one and check whether they are true or false. So how can we check whether these sentences are true or false? Okay. So if they exactly match with what we have learned in the lesson, then that is a true statement, right? If they exactly match with what we have learned in the lesson, then it is a true statement. And if it doesn't match with what we have learned, then that is a false statement, right? Now, a chemist sells medicines. A person who sells medicine is called a chemist. So the statement is a true one. Okay. A chemist sells medicines is a true statement. A greengrocer sells clothes. Huh? A greengrocer sells clothes. So does a greengrocer sells clothes? No. A greengrocer sells green vegetables and sometimes the fruits also. Isn't it? And then who sells a cloth? Who sells clothes? Yeah, the person called a shopkeeper, a cloth merchant, right? A cloth merchant is a person who sells clothes. So this statement is a false one. A nurse cuts our hair. Does a nurse cut our hair? Right? If we are down with the fever, we will go to the hospital and the doctor will give us the medicines and the nurse will take care of us, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah, when our hair grows long, where do we go? To the barber, isn't it? So barber is a person who cuts our hair and not a nurse. Nurse take care of a patient. Nurse always takes care of a patient. So this statement, a nurse cuts our hair, is a wrong statement. It's not true. A painter paints the houses. Yeah. A painter paints the houses. A teacher teaches in the school. And that is why a teacher is called a teacher. Because they teach. Is it? Yes. So again, the statement is a true statement. So shall we check it with the answers? Yes. A chemist sells medicines is a true statement. A greengrocer sells clothes is a false statement because a greengrocer sells fruits and vegetables and the clothes are sold by a cloth shopkeeper. A nurse cuts our hair is a false statement because a nurse takes care of us when we are ill, when we become a patient, and a barber actually cuts our hair. A painter paints the houses is a true statement. A teacher teaches in the school also is a true statement. Okay. So now I will keep the screen the same for another minute so that you can have a look at it. Now we have a fill in the blanks. So 6 sentences are given there. In all the 6 sentences, there is one blank each. So based on what we have learned in the lesson, we need to fill these blanks. Okay. First one, a dash teaches us in the school. So what do we call a person who teaches us something in the school? A teacher. So what is the answer for the first question? A teacher. A teacher teaches us in the school. Second, a dash makes a furniture for us. What is the person who makes a furniture for us is called, the person who works on a wood to make us a furniture, doors and all these kinds of things are called a carpenter, isn't it? So a carpenter makes a furniture for us. A carpenter make furniture for us. A dash make earthen pots for us. What do you mean by earthen pot? Yeah, earthen pot is a clay pots, right? During summer when it is too hot, we use clay pots in which we store water and drink from that, isn't it? Yes. So what is the person who makes these earthen pots are called? A potter. P-O-T-T-E-R, potter. A potter makes earthen pots for us. 4. A dash builds our houses. A mason builds our houses. So a person who builds our houses are called a mason. Then a dash brings us our letters and parcels. So a person is working in a post office and from there he brings us these letters, parcels and all. And what do we call them? A postman. So a postman is a person who brings us these letters and all. Right? Now, the last one, a dash washes our clothes. So a person who take away the used clothes, wash them neatly, dry them perfectly, iron them properly, and bring them back to us so that we can use it again is called a washerman, isn't it? Yes. So a teacher teaches us in the school. Carpenter makes a furniture for us. A potter makes earthen pots for us. Mason builds houses for us. A postman brings our letters and parcels. A washerman washes our clothes. So shall we check with the answers once? Yes. A teacher teaches us in the school. A carpenter makes a furniture for us. A potter makes earthen pots for us. A mason builds our houses. A postman brings our letters and parcels. A washerman washes our clothes. Right? So I'll keep the screen the same for another minute so that you can have a look at all these sentences once again. Right? Match the following. So here we have 6 professions shown in images, and here we have the names of those or what do they do. Right? So here we have the images of 6 professions, and here what do they do. What we need to do is match the professions with what they do. Okay? So the first one is a doctor. The first one is a doctor. And what does he do? He wants to paint a house. He treats the patient. He treats patients. So, doctor treats the patient. Doctor treats the patient. Yes. Second one, he is fitting some taps there. Now, he's a plumber. What is he? He's a plumber. And he is actually fixing some taps or something like that over there. And fits the taps. Second one, fits the taps. Third one, a man he's a barber, right? Yeah, he's cutting the hair of a boy who is sitting on the chair. He's a barber and he cuts the hair. This one. So a doctor treats the patient, a plumber fits the taps, a barber cuts the hair. And here we can see a person who is standing inside a medical store and the shelves are full of medicines. So he is a pharmacist, a chemist. What is he called? A chemist. And what does a chemist do? A chemist sells medicines. Fourth, here is a man who is standing there with a bucket of paint. What is he doing? He paints the houses. He paints the houses. Then, this old man is selling some fruits and vegetables over there. Yes, he's a greengrocer who sells the fruits and vegetables. Greengrocer selling fruits and vegetables. Okay. Now, a doctor treats the patients. A plumber fits the taps. A barber cuts the hair. A pharmacist sells medicines. A painter paints the house. And a greengrocer sells fruits and vegetables. So, shall we check the answer once? Yes. A doctor treats the patients. A plumber fits the taps. Then, a barber cuts the hair. A chemist sells medicines. A painter paints the house. And a greengrocer sells the fruits and vegetables. Right? So, I will keep the screen the same for another minute so that you can have a better look at it. Okay? Observe the images, read the descriptions, and check whether we have matched it in the right way or not. Okay? Write one word for each of the following. So, what do we call a person who looks after a patient? Looks after a patient is different from treating a patient. Okay? Treating the patient means checking the patient, then understanding what is his problem, and deciding which medicine to be given and all. Taking care of a patient or looks after a patient means what? Yeah, whether he's okay or not, whether he's taking medicines at time, and if there are some injections to be done, are they being done on the right time? Okay, that is taking care of the patient. So, a person who looks after a patient is called a nurse. A person who treats a patient is called a doctor. Okay, understand the difference? A person who looks after a patient is called a nurse, and a person who treats a patient is called a doctor. Right? A person who mends our shoes. Yeah, when the buckle of our shoes gets off, we take it to a person who repairs it. What is he called? He's called a cobbler. What is he called? Cobbler. A cobbler. A person who grows food grains, vegetables and all. Who is the person who grows food grains, fruits, vegetables and all? What do we call them? Yeah? Farmer. What is he? He is a farmer. A farmer is a person who grows food grains, vegetables, fruits and all. Next, a person who stitches our clothes. A person who stitches our clothes is called a tailor. So, who is a person who stitches our clothes? A tailor. Now, the fifth one. A person who sells many things. A greengrocer sells only fruits and vegetables, isn't it? Yes. A pharmacist sells only medicines. Right? A cloth merchant sells only clothes. But there are some people who sell a lot of things. Lot of things. They sell some groceries, some stationery. So what do we call those people? Shopkeepers. Okay? Shopkeepers are the people who sell many things. We can buy a book there, we can buy a packet of tea there, we can buy some tomatoes there. Right? So such people are called shopkeepers. A person who maintains law and order in the city is called a policeman. A policeman is a person who makes it sure that everything is under control in the city or even a village, right? So a person who looks after a patient is called a nurse. A person who mends our shoes is called a cobbler. A person who grows fruit, greens and vegetables are called a farmer. Then a person who stitches our clothes is called a tailor. A person who sells many things is called a shopkeeper. A person who maintains a law and order in the city is called a policeman. Right? So shall we check it with the answers once? Yes. See, a person who looks after the patient is a nurse. A person who mends our shoes is a cobbler. A person who grows fruit, grains and vegetables are called a farmer. A person who stitches our clothes is a tailor. A person who sells many things is a shopkeeper. A person who maintains law and order in the city is a policeman. Right? So now I will keep the screen the same for another minute so that you can read them once again. Right? Okay. So the next one is answer the following questions. So based on this lesson that what we have learned, we have got 5 questions here and we need to find the answers for them. So why do we need the help of other people? Why do we need the help of other people? We cannot do all the activities ourselves. So we need the help of other people. We cannot grow all the vegetables, isn't it? So we need the help of farmers to grow it. Greengrocers to sell it. We buy it and use it. So we cannot do all the works ourselves, so we need the help of others. What is the importance of community helpers? Community helpers make our life easy and comfortable. Community helpers help us to make our life easy and comfortable. Who maintains law and order in the city? A policeman maintains law and order in the city. So who maintains the law and order in the city? Policeman maintains law and order in the city. What does a nurse do? A nurse looks after a patient. She won't treat a patient, okay? She just looks after the patient. How is a postman helpful to us? Yeah, when we have to send a letter or a parcel that is brought to us by the postman, isn't it? A postman brings our letters and parcels. A postman brings our letters and parcels. So why do we need help of other people? We cannot do all the activities ourselves. So we need the help of other people. What is the importance of community helpers? Community helpers make our life easy and comfortable. Who maintains law and order in the city? A policeman maintains a law and order in the city. What does a nurse do? A nurse looks after the patient. How is a postman helpful to us? A postman brings our letters and parcels. Right? So now I'll keep the screen the same for another minute so that you can have a look at them and yes, read the questions and answers once again. Right? Identify the persons and write their names. So here we have the pictures, the images of 5 community helpers, right? We need to identify them and we need to write their names over here. So first one, he wears a white coat. Yeah, there's a pad in his hand and a stethoscope also is hanging on his shoulders, right? So what is he? He is a doctor. So first picture is a doctor. Second one, he holds a bucket of paint, a brush also is there in his hand, and a lot of paint is spilled over his body. So definitely he will be a painter. Is it? You can easily identify him as a painter. See, here is a man. He has a stick in his hand. He has a cap, gun also here. See, right side of the pocket. So who is he? He is a policeman. Is it? He is a policeman. And there is an old man sitting in his shop with a lot of fruits and vegetables kept in front of the shop. Who is he? He is a greengrocer. He is a greengrocer. Then a man, usual with a cap, but he carries a letter. So who is that man who brings us letters, parcels and all? Postman. Isn't it? So the picture 5 is that of a postman. Right? So first is a doctor, second is a painter, third is a policeman, fourth is a greengrocer, and the fifth is a postman. Right? So shall we check it with the answer? Yes. A doctor, a painter, a policeman, a greengrocer, and a postman. Right? So now I'll keep the screen the same for another minute so that you can have a look at it. So that is the end of the lesson. And in the next class, we will meet again definitely with another lesson, fresh. And till we meet in the next class, take care of yourself, stay home, stay safe. Okay, bye.